Now let's create that drawer, okay, to complete the upper look of this cabinet that we have here, okay, this tabletop over here. Now just remember the size kind of fit directly in front of our bedside table, with a little bit of a inset over here at the front, right? So what you can do is, now there's this technique in Maya, right, whereby you can right click, select the face or select the faces that you want to kind of duplicate and make another object, right? So I select these three faces. Now what I'll do is I will go up here to edit mesh, right? Under edit mesh I will find one called the duplicate, right? This is to duplicate the face. If you look at the category, is under the face category. So when I click duplicate face, right, or duplicate, right, it kind of show you that this particular part that we highlighted earlier is green in color, whereas everything else is white. So this is an indication that we have just duplicated our selection and it is actually a new object. Now what I can do is I can kind of just move it out a little bit here, right? Now what I'll do is then I will go to the move tool to kind of escape everything there, and I click anywhere else to deselect the objects. Now when I select the front object here, you can kind of see that, okay, let me go to object mode. Okay, this is actually now a separate object by itself, okay, whereas this is still the original object. Now this is the new object, right? That's what duplicate face does. Okay, basically whatever you are selecting, the faces that you're selected, when you click duplicate, it creates a new object with that selection of yours. Okay, now, okay, other thing that we have to take note of is when you create a new object, okay, out of that face, the pivot point may still be at the back. Okay, the object may be front, but the pivot point is way at the back, because in a way it kind of follow the original object that you copy from, okay, which is the pivot point is here. So it kind of makes sense that although you copy the face over here, the pivot point is still over here. Now, so what you can do is, if you want to bring the pivot point back to the center of your object, you can just go to modify, okay, at the top here, the modify menu. Just go and find what we call the center pivot. Now when you click on this, automatically the pivot will just jump to the middle of the object, right? So now it's make it easier for me to kind of move the object around. Okay, so now what I'll do is, right, I will now kind of create the shape of that drawer. Now I need to create a little bit of an inset here. Okay, so the fastest technique that I find that I can start to create that little bit of a gap there is to first, let's draw a line. Okay, so what we can do, you can go to mesh tools, okay, go find insert edge loop. Okay, so insert edge loop, click on it. Now remember, if you click on a horizontal line, okay, it's going to start drawing a vertical line. You click on a vertical line, it's going to start drawing a horizontal line. Okay, for example, if I click and hold, you can see that it starts to draw a horizontal line. Okay, now, so if I let go, you can kind of see the line is being drawn. Let me undo here, press Z. Now if I were to click on a horizontal line, what you can see is it starts to draw a vertical line, right? That is what it does. Now, so what I'll do is I will click on this vertical line here. Okay, I'm going to create a little bit of a gap between the top line and this newly created line. There you go. Let me go to the move tool to escape the tool. Now with this, what I'll do is then I will just select face, select this particular face at the top here, and press delete on my keyboard. Okay, now this is what I have, right? Now if I push it back to the table set, okay, can kind of still match, but with that little gap over there. Now, so what I'll do next is I will just basically select all these faces, and I'm just going to extrude to create some form of thickness. There you go. Okay, let's escape the tool. Right, let's go back to object mode. Right, so now what I have, okay, is the drawer that I can just place it here. Okay, right, sometimes it's also good to just leave a little bit of gap in between. Okay, just a minor one. Right, you can see there's a little bit of gap there. Okay, so that once we get to the lighting portion, okay, when the light hits this little gap here, you can kind of see the shadow, okay, in between the table and the drawer itself. Okay, that's going to be a nice touch. Right, so there you go. Alright, so I've just created the drawer for the table, bedside table. Now, so in the next video, I'm going to show you the technique of creating that particular book platform, okay, at the bottom of the table set.